You're tasked with stopping the wizard Profion from taking over the kingdom of Ismar and helping the Empress Savina defend the citizens.
Wait, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, I've heard this somewhere.
No, I thought this up myself.
Wait a minute. This is the Dungeons & Dragons movie plot from the early 2000s. Forget this. I'm out of here. Based on the best-selling tabletop role-playing game of the same name, this is a poor attempt at a good idea. The great thing about D&D is that a movie could really be anything remotely close to the lore, and it would probably be good. Or so you would think. The two leads, Marlon Wayans and Justin Whalen, are generic and boring. Justin Whalen is fine for the most part. I really think it's just the dialogue that's bad. But their characters seem to bumble their way through the movie, luckily getting to where they need to go just by accident, all the way until the end of the movie. The film fails on multiple levels. Starting with Marlon Wayans' character, it would have been nice to see him as the fool-turned hero, saving his friend near the end of the movie, allowing Wayland's character to face off against the big bad alongside the Empress. But since Wayans is a part of comedy royalty, they tried to play that up, which is a shame. If you've seen Requiem for a Dream, you know he can actually be good in a movie. But when let loose like this, it's bad. I like to think of it as literally the worst D&D campaign, where the DM is trying really hard to keep the players from goofing off, but they try to get their characters killed at every turn. And every time a player may fail, the DM fudges a dice roll and they narrowly keep going. Thora Birch is pretty forgettable in this. Like with Wayans, she can act, but the script seems to constrain her into the role of the monarch who needs saving. The two female members of the party, Zoe McKellen and Kristen Wilson, are kind of pushed to the back at one point and aren't really allowed to shine. Richard O'Brien and Doctor Who's Tom Baker make appearances, but there's nothing much to say about them. O'Brien's great, playing the game show host during the maze puzzle scene, and Baker is a blink and you'll miss it role. The two highlights for me are Lee Ehrenberg and Jeremy Irons. Ehrenberg is great. He's funny as the gruff dwarf. He should have been the sole comedic relief, as he hit the comedy beats in the right way, even when he wasn't the focus of the scene. Irons looks just to be hamming it up, having a good time, and from a magazine article, he had taken to work in films like this to fund the renovation of a castle he had recently bought. I think both Ehrenberg and Irons are what bring this into a good bad movie. The wardrobe is great looking. Everything from the armor to the mage and empress robes, and most of the props do remind me of something I would imagine when I was playing the game. Some of the axes and swords do look a little like foam though. Most of the practical sets look nice. Profion's lair is a real place in the Czech Republic. The lighting and cinematography look pretty epic, as Douglas Milsome was behind it. He worked on great films such as Full Metal Jacket, Last of the Mohicans, View to Kill, and much more. The DVD's great. There's a mini-game to get to the special features, and there's two commentaries, each featuring Dave Arneson, co-creator of the original D&D, though he basically just explains how the game works. If you're into mild medieval fantasy, you may enjoy parts of the movie. It's not good, but it's not terrible. The visual effects seem to be dated at the time of release, which is surprising as it had a year-long post-production. There are two sequels, Wrath of the Dragon God, which sees Bruce Payne's character, Damodar, return, and was released on the Sci-Fi Channel and then to DVD. And the third was a direct-to-video release. I've only seen Wrath of the Dragon God, and it wasn't that interesting. As you may know, Comic-Con 2022, they showed the trailer for the new D&D movie, which has fans hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. But it can't be as bad as this one, can it? Well, thanks.